to extra perspective. The lives impacted by the August 3rd, 2019 shooting at the Cielo Vista Walmart right here in El Paso were forever changed. After nearly 6 years of ongoing litigation, shooter Patrick Crusius will spend the rest of his life in prison. And as mentioned, I spoke with El Paso District Attorney James Montoya on the perspective of the prosecution.
And I got the chance to sit down with the lawyer for Crusius, Joe Spencer. Mr. Spencer, you spent nearly 6 years covering this national case. Talk to us. How do you feel defending one of the deadliest mass shooters in America?
Well, I have a moral and ethical and legal obligation as a lawyer, once I get appointed on a case, to provide zealous representation. So if you're asking me how do I feel about representing a mass murder, that's part of my ethical and legal obligations. If you're asking me how do I feel about someone that came to our community, being Hispanic, my wife being from Juarez, how did that impact me? Well, it did. It was difficult emotionally at first. I wasn't sure I could actually do it. You have to understand that he is severely mentally ill. He is psychotic. He has been diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. He has been visited by 8 different mental health professionals that have all come to that conclusion.
You mentioned a very important point here with mental health. Combing through studies, Columbia University published an article on shootings and mental health, which states the reality of people with mental health issues account for a very small proportions of mass shootings. And we do have you, Mr. Spencer, on the record Monday saying, with Judge Medrano asking you, quote, is your client legally competent to enter this plea, which you returned that and saying, quote, we believe he's competent to proceed. So what is it? Is he competent or is he not?
We're talking about 2 different issues. There's a difference between competence and insanity, okay? So if you're asking me, was he competent to proceed? Absolutely, he was competent. It's a very low standard in Texas for competency. Does he know the role of a judge? Does he know the role of a defense lawyer? Does he know the role of the prosecutor? If he can answer those questions, he's competent for the most part.
Let's talk about, I can definitely tell that you've built a relationship with Crusius over the 6 years. It's inevitable, right? You're with this person, building a case with him. Talk to us. Do you believe, after impacting all these, the impact statements, seeing that we spent 48 hours combing through, do you believe justice was served?
Do I think justice was served? For Patrick, yes. Do I think justice was served for the El Paso community? Yes. This community needed judicial finality. We would have never had it for decades and decades and decades based on everything that happened on this case. Do I think the justice was served to those victims that wanted the death penalty? He's never going to leave prison other than in a coffin.
Looking back with these 6 years, is there anything you would have done differently?
That's a good question. I don't think there would have been anything that I could have done to stop the tragedy that occurred to the victims with the Rosales administration. They were victimized. The victims were victimized further by the actions of that administration. I don't think I could have done anything different. We were able to find that and we brought it. We had an obligation to bring it out into the public domain and especially to the court. I find it hard to say what I might have been able to have done different. I wish the prosecutors had done things different.
Powerful stuff.